one of the things that distinguishes Batman as a comic superhero relative to most of the others is that he lives in a city that's very recognizable, a city very much like New York City or Chicago. Gotham is obviously styled off of largely New York. And so he's grounded in a way that's kind of uniquely relatable. You know, he's not extraterrestrial, he's a human. He lives, he inhabits this space that many of us do inhabit. And so there's a relatability there that that I think Matt really builds on in a compelling way. I think what I tend to look for in a role like this is, or any role, of course, is, you know, how I can manage it, how I can relate to it, and what is it in the role that I can grab onto and start to build a character around. And I think that Matt had done a lot of kind of a due diligence, a deep archaeological dig into Batman so that the world around him was justified for the audience. And so as I was reading it, that was what I was trying to do, trying to justify myself as well in the role of Gordon. And I've just found that the world that he created was so palatable, that it was relevant to our times, that it was grounded in a kind of a social reality and a political reality even that made sense, and that aesthetically it felt richly Gotham-esque. It was, there was something about the character of the city that really resonated for me in the script. Batman has an opportunity to explore themes, places, as this kind of mythic hero, but these places and these rooms and the city that he inhabits is one that's close to us. And so because of that, we have an opportunity to be adventurous and dynamic, but at the same time probative in a way that is unique to the character. And Matt really, I think, designed the architecture of the space that the film takes place within in a really smart, compelling, and sensible way, in a meaningful way, in a way that's resonant and gives additional depth to the characters and to the story that we're telling. Well, the Gordon Batman relationship in our film is year 2, so it's not at the beginning, but it's early on. And again, Gordon as this kind of overwhelmed everyman who's kind of desperate to rise above the difficulties of that Gotham is presenting him, reaches out to Batman, I think, out of a level of desperation, but also, I think, again, a sense of admiration that, he is he's a capable figure. And he also recognizes that for some reason, not quite clear at the beginning, they're aligned, they're on the same side in terms of their perspective on the city and on what can be done in the face of the disintegration of the place. Robert is a really reserved, somewhat quiet guy, and when he, when he becomes Bruce Wayne, and I don't have many scenes with him, but most of my scenes are with him as Batman, and he came through as Bruce Wayne, and it was, who is this guy? As though he had grown like 5 inches, and he just had a presence about him that's not at all the way he carries himself. When the camera's off. It was really beautiful just to see the transformation, the various steps of transformation that he takes in this. One is Bruce Wayne, and then the transformation that Bruce Wayne takes as Batman. There's just beautifully distinct in a way that's going to be really, really compelling and exciting and new. He's just a wonderful actor, wonderful, interesting, subtle but dynamic performance he's given. It's super cool. Bruce has some engineering, mechanical skills, and he crafted the baddest, hyper, amped up, hemmied out muscle car that you could possibly imagine. And I said to myself when I read it, yes. And also something that is just down the middle American in a way that these comics are. And so to see it realized on set when, the first day the Batmobile showed up, it was just on the money. Just badass, just so good. And at the same time, again, so kind of justified and grounding and tangible.